cool. And also, we went hiking outside the stream. She got a lot of those little fuzzies that stick to you. Called everywhere. Everywhere, all over.
You guys have any other questions?
These are...
Oh, there's your implications.
We thought that this would help, like, be useful because...
You thought it would have been useful to land management to know if there were any major differences and how they affected stuff, and whether by making the split they were doing something harmful to that part of the environment.
Also, we thought that it would be important to know how much biodiversity there is because it's really important to keep that up, because without a certain species, the whole place will die out, and it's just really important to keep that stable because it's so fragile. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Berry Creek Middle School. Thank you all for coming. That was very informative. And now we're going to have Brett Ferraro. He has a science fair project that he went all the way to the state level with, and so he's going to be presenting that. So without further ado, here's Brett.
Brett, don't take it personally, man. I gotta get this one out of here.
Hi, my name is Brett Ferraro. I'm in 8th grade and go to the Vail School.
Thank you.
My science fair project is troubled waters. Some research. John Woodling did some fish counts under the Avon water treatment plant, and he's not the water treatment plant, the golf course, the Arrowhead golf course. He's shown that the fish counts have lowered significantly, as you can see between 2006 and 2007. I don't know if this podium is in the way or something. Here, I'll just move this over here. Maybe that's better for you all. And that just, as you can see, it just lowers right there. Just wondering if the water treatment plant had something to do with that. So my problem was, does the water treatment plant in Avon affect the temperature, dissolved oxygen, and pH of the Eagle River? My hypothesis, I thought that the water treatment plant would change all those in ways like raise the temperature, lower the dissolved oxygen, and raise the pH. And I thought it would raise the water temperature because of the effluent coming out of it was warmer than the river itself. The higher temperature would lower the dissolved oxygen levels, and the chemicals in the water would affect the pH. Anyway, whatever. I'll just go over that.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, I performed the following steps in both above and below the water treatment plant for 7 months. So you can see that this is above near the Weston. Here's the Weston, this is where the Weston's supposed to be. And this is where I tested my above site, and then here's the dissolved, this is the discharge site from the Avon water treatment plant. And this is the below discharge site. So that's where I tested it. Procedure. So to test the temperature, I got a fishing rod and cast it out into the middle of the river. I left the thermometer in there for at least 1 minute to let it get an accurate measurement. And then I reeled in the thermometer.
What were the months that you did this?
May through November of last year.
How much ice does that part of the river get? Is it?
In November and I was going to do it in December, but it was completely frozen over by then, so I couldn't do it then. But in November there was some ice forming there, but in May last year it was all gone, so I was quite surprised by that.
Rick, when was the water treatment plant built?
No idea.
Oh, okay, well, I was wondering because it went from 2005 to 2007, or to the drop.
Yeah, so.
It was before that, right?
I think it was built in the 70s.
Yeah, it's been around.
So it's been there a long time.
Yeah, so. Don't know. Okay. So there's me, cute little just sitting there. Here, just water collection for my dissolved oxygen and pH testing. I removed I got a jar, and I held the jar upstream for 30 seconds, and then I capped the jar. There's me and my aviators having fun doing that. Just dissolved oxygen testing. I got a small vial and submerged it into the water testing jar, and I collected that and dropped 2 DO test tabs, which are chemicals that change color when it hits the water. And then I mixed that up until color formed and the chemical disappeared. And
Why did you have to make sure there was no keeping it full to the top?
just to get because the chemical needs a certain amount of water, otherwise it might get too dark or too light. So it needs a certain amount of water for reading, and the chemical came with specific jars and instructions on doing that. And then I compared it to the color chart, which I'll show later, and recorded my results. pH testing. I got a larger jar and filled it to the 10 milliliter line and added 1 pH test tab to the test tube. Capped it and mixed it till color formed, then recorded my results. So, it's too light. Can we get the lights? I think I'll just grab the lights over here. See if these do anything to... Nope, not at all. Maybe, just maybe. Anyway, but usually you can tell that this is a bluer color than this. Yeah, so you could tell that that would be a higher pH below the water treatment plant due to the color chart right here. And you can semi-see that this one's darker, can you? I bet you can. And so you can tell that that has a higher pH, dissolved oxygen levels than downstream by the water treatment plant. Let's see, here's my data. I'll just explain that in my graphs. So here's my water temperature, and as you can see, below the water treatment plant, which is the pink, had a 1 degree Celsius higher temperature, except here in November, which it was actually lower. Dissolved oxygen didn't change significantly, and my test, the chemicals I used weren't very accurate in measurement. My pH, you can see that that below the water treatment plant, it's a significant, has like a steady at 8.5 in the Eagle River, where right here, above the water treatment plant, it drops right here and right here. And right here is when all the seeds fall off in June-ish, go into the river, decompose and release acids. causing the drop